you can always use someone else's, whether it's a student of yours that's used your product or service, some sort of a case study or things of that nature. But your backstory, that's what engages people to follow you. I mean, like, one of the pieces of my backstory is I went to prison as my high school senior year. That was my senior year of high school. While a lot of people were planning prom and screwing around, not showing up for classes, senior year, all that, I was not in the most funnest of places to be at. But and that's where I got my GED. That's that was one of the classes I had to take while I was there. And so, but not woe is me as much as from that background, I've gone on to be, a multi-unit GM. I was a chef, but I work as a hospitality business advisor, helping franchise locations be successful. I've learned how to build online sales funnels and websites and design and e-commerce. And so me having that type of a backstory, I can connect with people who maybe don't have higher forms of education. Maybe they've been in trouble before in law. And I can show that there are ways that even though you're either in this or been in this, we can get to here because I've done that. And so what is it in your backstory that you can tell that engages and connects people to who you are and what type of results you're trying to give them? Because if you sell a product or service, essentially you're selling results. It's not the product, it's not the service, it's the result you get out of it, right? It's not like I want a phone. I want to be able to look up anything and call my loved ones at any time I want and watch videos. It's not so much the phone, it's the results of the phone that what it can do for me, right? So, just to tie into that is really think about what is your backstory or parts of it that you can connect to your products or services, okay? And so the second thing, when you start talking about the four main elements, is you want to be able to speak in parables. Parables are very short, easy to remember stories, right? It's like that old saying of cook a man a fish, feed him for dinner, teach him how to fish, feed him for life. People remember stuff like that, right? And so what is it that you can, when you're telling your stories, what are ways you can tell things in a parable type fashion that would essentially, it's going to illustrate a point with stories from your life? Because what happens is we all have these kind of neat little moments if you step back for a second and watch and pay attention. Okay. And so this is where don't be like the masses. Don't let life just pass you by, right? You are different. Okay. And you're actually going to take note of those interesting things that are happening to you. Okay. And then you'll use those moments to actually teach and inspire others. Okay. And in the process, you will sell more products and services. Something that kind of going on right now that in my life that had something else not happen earlier, we'd probably been in a lot harder spot. A number of years ago, my mom passed away from cancer. It sucks. It's a very expensive and terrible illness. If any of y'all have been through it, it just sucks. I mean, like this cancer sucks. That's exactly what it is. But she passed away, and because of that downtime moment in our life, my dad actually put me on all his financial records as far as on his banks. We've got a power of attorney and advanced care directive. And we did all that years ago after mom passed. Those aren't really fun things to do, but we did it. And very recently, my father had a stroke. Now he's still with us, but he's been in rehab and in the hospital for weeks. And because of what had happened to my mother and us doing those things years ago, it was very easy to help manage his finances for him right now. Okay. Because he can't leave to go to the bank and sign things or talk to people or things like that. And the first few days, he wasn't really able to make a lot of decisions and stuff. So there's actually paperwork and documentation in place that allowed him to, right now, he just needs to worry about his physical therapy. Okay. Because I've been able to I'm on his accounts. I can just go to the bank. The doctors can call me directly. We have this stuff in place. And so I don't necessarily sell insurance or light and things of that, but if that's a service industry you're in, that is a story of my life that, thank goodness we had that in place for now. I don't wish what had happened to cause us to do that, but because of something that happened, we had that in place. Okay. And so that it's very important to have those things matter. I mean, we have it, my wife and I have that in place because me, my father, and my wife, we all did it together at the same time. We just kind of made it a family planning event. So learning to speak in parables to engage your people. Okay. And don't be afraid to charge people for what it is you have as a solution to them. I definitely think you should always give away some value for free because you want to establish yourself and down. I'm trying to think how I want to say this. And down to earth, you really, the world is never going to be in a bad place by sharing good information. Okay. Not saying that you need to give away the farm, but putting some good info to help people out, because some people may not be in a position to afford. But when you put free information out, then when you have kind of that higher caliber or more deeper input, like in my Funnel Growth Club Pro, I put these videos out right now for free for people to see. But I have a pro plan that has a lot more engaged, in depth, how to step-by-step processes in there. That is a membership. It is a paid membership, because essentially what happens is if you were to give everything away for free, right? If you give everything away for free, most people won't use it, right? There's going to be a number of you that this information I'm putting out here probably aren't going to use it. Yeah, I hope that's not you who's watching, but usually when someone gets something for free, they treat it like it's free, versus when you ask someone to actually make an investment on something, now they've actually committed, right? So if you really want people to actually be successful around you and the products and service you do, you've got to get them to make some sort of investment at a certain point in time, okay? Facts tell, stories sell. We've heard that, right? Your facts tell about the product, but your stories, your backstory, parables, is what sells the reasoning of why, of how it relates and connects to people, okay? Stories as parables, they're the things that are actually going to stick and stay with your audience, okay? So that's the importance of having parables whenever you're coming up with the 4 elements. It's always funny on camera, things are backwards. With the 4 elements of building an attractive character. The number 3 thing is flaws. And this is one of the most important, but also one of the most hardest, because we all have this, I don't know what it is about the culture. We all have this, like, I need to be perfect. Everything needs to be perfect, like when you watch on Instagram and all those perfect pictures, what is it, like couple goals or stuff like that. Half of those pictures, you got to think how much time and effort it took to take the photo, and also who's taking the photo of the couple, right? It's not like some like magical drone just flew out and snapped the picture. These are orchestrated things happening on, right? So just really think about that sometimes when you see like those pictures. Someone else took the photo, or they've got like a little button remote, but that means they had to go set up the camera. And I'm not knocking those images because they're telling a story and all that, but where I'm going with that is be okay with sharing your flaws, okay? It's again, one of the most important, one of the most hardest to do. Okay. But by sharing them, you actually become relatable and you become real. Okay. You're actually real talk. People it isn't all Lambos and jets, guys. To get the rainbow, you got to go through rain. So share some of that rain experience out there. Right. And that's where you get to your rainbow. If you also think about too, like I've talked about in some of my videos about, movie characters, right? They're attractive characters, the characters in a movie, but you connect with their flaws is what you connect with. Their ethics, their principles, their flaws, their challenges. That's what engages you, because honestly, if they were perfect, it wouldn't be that interesting. I mean, it really, if, everyone knows Superman, kryptonite's his big weakness, right? Everyone's like, well, if that's his weakness, but also his ethics are his weakness. I don't really necessarily want to say, I guess it's not his weakness, but it gets used against him as a weakness, right? They kidnap his mom, or Lois Lane, his girl, and they put them in precarious situations to force him to do things. So that's what makes it more interesting. If he was just a guy that didn't care about anyone and didn't have any type of elemental kryptonite things that would affect him, I mean, how you might watch one fight scene, but there's nothing to engage you to keep you like, oh, now he's got to overcome this ethical dilemma, right? And how's he going to get out of this with this thing that's making him sick and weak because it's wrapped around his neck. Some of those old school, like, Superman movies when he's like in the pool with the thing and Lex Luthor's like laughing at him because he can't get out of the pool. But that's what makes him relatable, because there's flaws, right? One of the most powerful characters has flaws about him, all right? But once an audience knows that you're not perfect, right? Once you actually open up, share a little bit of it, they'll actually start to empathize with you. They'll actually start to like you. One of the things in my past, coming from the hospitality industry, I've trained many numbers of managers. My first 2 years when I got into management as a leader, I was freaking terrible. Like I didn't know how to do it, right? I had to learn how to do it. I apologize to the people I managed back then because I didn't necessarily know what I was doing. I had a good mentor that coached me, but it took time for me to get good at it. But I would always share with my managers that I was training, actually my hourlies that would become manager, and I would train them. I would share with them my mistakes that I made. And what happened was, look, I'm vulnerable now with you. I'm telling you all these things that I did that blew up in my face, but I'm preparing them to not make those same mistakes, right? You see what's happening? I'm sharing my flaws, my vulnerability, but also now I'm equipping them to be better. You feel me on that? And so helping them leverage and helping them be more successful, because oftentimes when I train a manager, they move them to a new story. It's like you raise them up and they're gone, it's awesome. I can't put a price tag on that type of feeling when you know you've helped. They did the work, but when you feel like you've helped guide and mold and pour in, but then they get there and then they get their own store, it's just amazing. I mean, because I always remember my first mentors that believed in me whenever I didn't know what I was doing, and they were patient with me and taught me. And so I always shared those flaws of what not to do. Okay. So the fourth thing that we're going to go into is polarity, right? Be polarizing. You know, if you literally, like what it says there, is if you go for everything, you're going to get nothing, right? If your hands are full with everything, you can't grab what's really out there because you're going for everything. Okay. If you go for it all, you're going to get nothing. And so, or another way of setting it is like, polarizing is where you actually need to draw your foot in the sand a little bit on topics, on certain things, is share your opinions on hard matters, right? If you disagree with something, start being more verbal and vocalized about it, okay? And stick to your guns, okay? This is where your standards and your values take into place, no matter how many disagree, because, if you think about it, in any type of, I guess, audience or social dynamic, there's really only three types of people. There's only three types, okay? And those three types, how we split it up is you're going to have those who just disagree with you, right? There's going to be people like, I don't agree with you, right? They may say it in a more not so constructive way, but they don't agree with you. And then you have some people that are just neutral. They don't really know what they do or don't agree, and they may not even lean left or right. They're just kind of there. And then you're going to have those who absolutely agree with you, right? Those that are like, I'm 100% on board with this person is saying, okay? So you got those who disagree, those who are neutral, and those who are on board with what it is that you're doing. And so, like, this is where, talking about being polarizing, where it goes, what's weird is essentially you can find, no matter where they fit in that audience, they sometimes they still pay attention to you. Because sometimes you can think about some of the elected officials in office and things like that. People who disagree with them still give them tons of time and energy because they're talking about them. They're giving them, now you have attention. Even though they disagree, they're still talking about them. They're now in their minds and their social structures, and they're not agreeing with what they do, but they are on their mind. They're on their radar, versus the ones that really agree are then celebrating them and talking about. So it's funny that even though people agree or disagree, you've got their attention. Are you guys following me on that? Like, think about that for a second. Whether they agree or disagree, you're getting people's attention on things. And really, in business, you want attention. That's the social currency, really, if you think about it, is attention. How do I get your attention? Okay. And so by sticking to your guns, like I'm a pro gun person. I think people should have guns. There's a lot of people out there that don't. I think you should. Okay. I don't have a vast army or array of them, but I'm not going to say I don't have any of them. But, I'm a Christian. My family, we're faith believers. We believe in that. If there comes times to draw lines in the sand, that's where we draw those lines, because those are ethics and our beliefs. And so learning to put those out there and being okay with sharing, that's who you are. You're an individual, and share that with the world. Okay. Because your goal really is to be talked about. All right. Because you're going to get shared with friends, whether they agree or disagree. It'll be like, oh my God, he said this and I relate to him so much. Or else it's like, I can't believe he said this because I disagree with him so much. You're still being talked about. You follow me on that? So being polarizing, it can be scary, right? To start putting those things out there, because again, you're going to have people who disagree with you and they're going to voice their opinions. But here's the even more scarier part. All right, we're going to go. You think that's scary? The more scarier part is no one talks about you, no one hates you, but no one knows you, right? You're not even on the radar. Okay, so we're not saying go out there to create chaos and I'm not saying go out there and let's purposefully try to upset people or I'm not going on that. I'm just saying be okay with people disagreeing with what it is you have to stand for. Okay, because otherwise, again, no one's going to know you, no one's going to talk about you, no one will hate you, but no one's going to know you. I mean, you follow me on that? That's a little bit more scarier than actually just putting your opinion on things out. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with everyone out there. I don't agree with some of the mentors that I follow and pay attention to. Not everything they say am I like, yeah, that's right. Some of them like, I don't agree with that part, but I agree with some of this other stuff they do. But and that's okay. Okay. So, again, just remember, if no one talks about you, nobody knows you. You follow me on that? And so just think of this as now is the time to step out of the neutral zone. If you haven't stepped out yet, we're going to step out of the neutral zone and we're going to start sharing our opinions. Okay. Start being personable. Okay. That is what polarity is about, and start sharing your opinions on things, because bring the things you care about to the open. If you care about them, show people you care, right? So with that, I mean, that's the top 4 attractive character main elements, right? When you're building attractive character, I still got 2 other video series segments that I'm going to be rolling out with this, but the first part is elements. There's 4 main elements, and that's what they are, okay? We've got just a quick recap. We got our backstory. It's essential for our results. We're going to be able to speak in parables. We want to try to make things short and easy for our audience to remember. The third thing, one of the most important and hardest, is sharing your flaws, right? What is it we're not good at? And the fourth thing is having polarity, and you don't go for everything by trying to please the masses, right? You get none that way. Draw your line in the sand and stick to things that are important to you and share that. All right. So if you found value in this, whether you've gone online or not, you may be aware or may not, I have a free online business launch kit. You literally go to funnelgrowthclub.com. You get you a free online business launch kit that walks you through, in a video series, step by step, how to build your own online sales funnel. Some of you may be thinking, I already have a sales funnel. Well, guess what? I've got a solution for that as well. But if you haven't ever done anything like that, like I talked about, I'm a GED guy. If you can watch a video and follow what it says, you can build an online sales funnel business, because that's exactly what it's going to do. And even it's going to teach you how to create your own offers as a sub bonus. I have that in there. It's actually unadvertised, but I guess I'm advertising it now. I give that in there as well for free to teach you how to create your own offers within your funnel steps. But if you already have some of that in place, you might be like, great, Andy, I have that. I don't need that. I do have an upgraded version, and that's where you upgrade to Pro. And to get to there, it's funnelgrowthclub.com/go pro for those that already have things in place. Or you may not have things in place, and you might be like, you know what, I just know I'm all in. I want to get in the digital landscape. That's kind of how I got into the game. My first website I ever sold, I never had built one on the platform I sold it. I just knew that I could, or I would figure it out. I'm not saying that you all should do the same way I did, but when I know I have an idea in something and I put time and energy, and just, if I can watch videos, I can make it happen. It's just power play, push power, push play, watch, pause, and execute it. The Funnel Growth Club Pro, literally what we have in there is templates for you to use to get fast results with your design time. I've got online courses kind of like this, but a lot more in depth, step by step, rolling out information to help you with your sales funnels, like email marketing and swipe files, and how to correctly talk to people, whether they buy from you or not, through email. And also how to set up your own automation funnel, where if someone buys a book from you, or a CD or DVD, you can have it printed you can have it printed and shipped out, so you don't even have to manage it on your own. No inventory, or maybe I should say little inventory. I'll back that up just a little bit. Also coaching, as far as courses and things like that. I've got like online coaching, as far as each month I'll be rolling out different courses. Okay. And there's an internal Facebook group that's just for the pro members, where we do live mastermind Q&A. So if you have questions or you get stuck along the way, you have direct access to me and other members within that inner circle community to help you get results with your funnel. Okay. Right now it is for now, because every time I release a course, I up the price. Because how I have it set up, it's a membership. Whenever you go in, you get locked in. That's your price. Okay. I don't raise your membership level. But as I add more courses to it, the membership goes up because it becomes more valuable. And right now it's less than 85 cents a day. Okay. 85 cents a day. You get literally over $3,000 of software upgrades, templates, and courses available to you for less than 85 cents a day. I can't keep doing that for very long, but I want to empower and help others. That's why I put videos like this out there, is I'm trying to help people be successful. And like I said earlier in the video, I can't give away everything for free. All right. I'm giving enough to help you guys to get you started, but definitely take a look at that. For 85 cents a day, you can explode your results. And to see what all that is, funnelgrowthclub.com/growpro. And with that, guys, I appreciate your time. I hope you found value in this. Whether you catch this live or in the replay, drop your comments below. I will respond to you. I appreciate you, and I look forward to serving you in the future. Have a great one.